Hi everybody, I'm Tara, and today I am sick. But the show must go on, so today's show is going to be a super quick, super messy September and October wrap-up. Aside from being sick, I have done zero preparation for this video. Usually I will take notes on my thoughts of the books as I'm reading them or once I'm done, and before I film I like to organize everything so I don't go off on 10-minute tangents, because I do that a lot. But today, nothing. I didn't do a damn thing to prepare. So that's where the messy aspect of this wrap-up comes in. To hopefully avoid going off on those 10-minute tangents or to spend too much time thinking about what I want to say or figuring out the great way to say it, I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds on my phone for each book that I talk about, and that's all the time I have. So whatever comes out in that 1 minute and 30 seconds is what you get. So without further ado, let's get this circus on the road. The first book I have to talk about today is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. Starting the timer now. This is a YA fantasy sci-fi about a girl named Marguerite, whose parents are scientists, and they've invented this device that allows them to travel between alternate dimensions. And her father's been murdered, so Marguerite takes the device and travels to other dimensions in pursuit of her father's murderer. I thought the premise for this was awesome. I love time travel, and alternate dimensions is just kind of, there as well. They weren't necessarily on our same timeline of technology and advancement. So in one of the timelines she goes to, it's sort of like this 1900s Russian world, and another one it's very much more advanced technologically. So I really like that aspect of it. I did like the romance, but I thought that the little bit of a love triangle seemed kind of shoehorned in. I didn't like it at all. It seemed like it was confused. It didn't know what it wanted to do. Did it want to be a love triangle? Did it not? I don't know. It was just all over the place. The twist at maybe 3/4, 2/3 of the way through the book, I totally saw coming. I hate seeing twists coming, but I did. The writing style was nothing to write home about. It was your typical kind of, oh, that's my timer. Alright, so that's all I get to say. I will give you my star rating. 3 stars. I think I rated this on Goodreads. It was okay. I enjoyed it enough to probably pick up the next book in the series, but I didn't love it. Next up is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Ademyemi. Timer starting now. Everyone knows what this book is about. It is a fantasy based on a West African world, and magic has disappeared, so the protagonists are trying to bring magic back to the world before it can be completely eradicated. I picked up this book in part because of the hype. Everyone loved this book. I don't think I heard a single bad review about it. Everyone was just glowing 5 stars. So I thought, a book that everyone loves that much has got to be a great book. It was okay. It was okay. There was nothing about this book that impressed me. There's nothing that blew my mind. The characters were kind of bland. None of them had their own voice, really. Zaylee, the main character, was sort of annoying. Inan was just a wishy-washy mess. I wanted to snack him so many times. Amari, I did actually like Amari. She was okay. The romance was awful. It was laughable. It was eye-rolling. It was just no. And the world building was a little weak. It could have had a lot more to it. The plot was interesting. The pacing was off though. I think it spent way too much time on certain things and not enough time on other things. The end I saw coming, but it was a good ending, and it definitely made me want to read the next book, but I don't think this is ever going to be a favorite series. 3 stars for Children of Blood and Bone. Again, it was okay. I actually did that all in my 1 minute and 30 seconds. Woohoo! Next up is An Unwanted Guest by Shari Lapena. Starting the timer now. This is a murder mystery set in a snowed-in hotel where dead bodies keep piling up and all the guests and the hotel staff are under suspicion. It's a whodunit. It's a classic whodunit. I picked this up because Lala from Books of Lala said it gave her major Clue vibes. I didn't really get those vibes. Other than that, it was a murder mystery. There was third-person omniscient narrator, so you follow all of the main characters, and none of them really had their own voice. They all sounded exactly the same. The dialogue was too formal. People just don't speak like that. And the one thing that really bugged me, so there's a power out, and then there's multiple mentions of how the fridge isn't working, and the food is starting to go bad. And I'm just thinking, it's like minus 40 degrees outside, you're snowed in, just put the food outside. In the end, I did not guess who done it. I had a couple of guesses throughout it, but they were wrong, and so I was surprised, and I did appreciate that because I don't get surprised by twist endings or by whodunits anymore. So I did like that about this book, but overall, I would just give it a 3 stars. Again, it was just okay. It did make me want to keep reading and find out who did it, but in the end, meh. And I just kicked the tripod, so like I said, video's gonna be a mess. Moving on to Lethal White by Robert Galbraith. Timer started. This is the 4th book in the Cormoran Strike series, which is about a private eye, Cormoran Strike, who solves bizarre mysteries. I thought it was gonna be the final book in the series, but I guess it's not. So I guess that's good. Except the whole way through I was thinking it was the final book and I kept waiting for something to happen and then it didn't happen and I was so upset and then I found out it wasn't the final book. Anyway, this was not my favorite of the series. The mystery was a little too bizarre for me this time, and the characters involved, I really didn't care for any of them. Cormoran Strike and his assistant Robin, there was a lot missing between them because they're in this weird situation. It's one of those situations where if they would only talk to each other and communicate, things would be solved, but things were not solved, so that was a little annoying. I can't say much about it because it's the 4th book and I can't really spoil anything for you, but yeah, not my favorite. Still enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next one. Hope there is a next one. I still haven't gotten absolute confirmation that there is a next one, but fingers crossed. I think I give this 4 stars on the assumption that it was not the final book, but if this does end up being the final book in the series, I'd probably drop that to 2 stars, because this is just not how you do a final book in a series. How much time do I have left? I still got 8 seconds. I'm getting really good at this. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Timer starting now. This is about a girl named April who is walking home from work one day and she comes across this really bizarre statue in the middle of Manhattan. I think she described it as a transformer wearing samurai armor. So she takes a video of it and puts it on YouTube, and overnight it goes viral because it turns out that these statues have been randomly appearing all over the world all of a sudden. And so there's a question of, is it an alien invasion? Are they hostile? Are they friendly? What the hell's going on? And another big part of the story is social media and fear-mongering and how being in the midst of a media circus can really affect a person. The story itself was really interesting. It gave me kind of a Ready Player One vibe because there's a sort of challenge, scavenger hunt sort of element to it that I really enjoyed, and I wish we had gotten to see more of that. But we didn't. But the social media aspect and seeing how that affected April was especially interesting to see because Hank Green he has internet fame. He's an internet personality, so he's had to deal with some of those issues himself. So it was coming from a place of truth and genuineness. So that was really great to see. The ending left a little bit to be desired. This is apparently going to be a series or at least a duology, so it did leave things kind of open-ended in a way that makes you just go like, what happened? So that's good. It's good to leave a book wanting more. I definitely want more. I definitely want to know, that's it. My timer's off. Definitely want to know, what the hell, man? 4 stars? 3 or 4 stars? I don't know. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was a good book. And last but not least, a library book that is really gonna mess with the lighting. Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is going to be so hard to only have a minute and a half for, but timer starting. This is about a man named Laszlo Strange who is a librarian, and all of his life he's been obsessed with this city called Weep and with the mystery of what happened to the city because it seems to be lost from the world. So he's studied the city, he's dreamt of the city, and then he gets the chance to go on this expedition to the city. So many people say you have to go into this kind of blind and knowing only that much about it, and I absolutely agree. There's so much more to the story. There's so many other layers to this world and so many other characters, but I think you gotta go into it blind. I don't know why it took me so long to read this book. Everyone said this book is so great, and I would hear so much about it, and it just didn't really interest me. I don't know why. Now that Muse of Nightmares, the sequel just came out this month, it's been getting a lot of attention again, and I finally was like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I gotta read that. And oh my god, I'm so glad I did. This book absolutely deserved the hype. This, oh my god, I don't even know. I can't even put words into it except, oh my god. Yeah, timer's going off, but I don't care. I gotta keep talking about this book. Even though I don't know what to say about this book. I love the character of Laszlo so much. I loved him. The other characters I wasn't that fond of, but they were still all very well developed, very dynamic, very intriguing characters. The world was amazing. This was world building done right. The story, again, you've got to go into it blind because there's so much more that the story is about. It's about dreams. I'll give you that much. It is heavily focused on dreams in such a great way. And the ending, that ending, I'm really glad that I actually waited this long to read this, because now I don't have to wait to read the next book. Thank goodness, because I don't know how I would have managed the 2 years in between this book and Muse and Nightmares. I don't know how you guys did it. This far into the book, at the end of part 1, page 82, I knew right then and there this was going to be a 5-star book. This was going to be a book I had to buy, and I had to have on my shelf, and I was right. I've already ordered it along with Muse and Nightmares. This is gonna be one of my favorite series of all time. I can tell you right now. 5 stars, did I say that? 5 stars, absolutely 5 stars. This may be the best book I read this year. I'm confident in saying that at this point. This has been the best book I read in 2018, and I don't think I'm gonna read another one that's gonna beat it, except maybe Muse and Nightmares. That might beat it. So that is it. I did it. I managed to talk about 6 books in, like, what was that, maybe 10 minutes? That's a lot better than I usually do. Hope you guys enjoyed this mess of a video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more. I promise my videos are usually a little bit more organized and put together than this. And until next time, everybody, happy reading. Bye-bye. I read like 250 pages of this book in one day. I was up late, I wanted to finish it so bad, my eyes were closing, I couldn't stay awake, and I finally had to just give up and finish it in the morning. Why am I telling you all this? This is the tangent that I was talking about.